Whilst watching the newest Captain America movie, you were probably in awe of the Red Hulk, meaning that you didn't notice how the ending of the movie actually proves that Marvel has been sowing the seeds of the multiversal conflict since before the snap. But as always, this is just a theory, and theory can only take you so far, so you have been warned. Massive spoilers the size of Tiamat ahead, come back after you have watched it. After Sam had managed to talk down Ross back into his human form after an epic battle, he visits Ross in the raft, who's now no longer the president of the USA. Sam then tells Joaquin that he's planning on reforming the Avengers, and they tease that he might join the new team as the Falcon. Then the post-credit scene shows us that the leader has seen a vision of the multiversal conflict ahead and warns Sam of the coming fight. Despite that bleak warning, everything else seems pretty optimistic, except for the fact that it isn't. At the end of the movie, we see that Ross is sent to the raft, and that seems normal, since it's pretty much a supervillain prison, and it's a form of karma for sending Sam to the raft during Civil War. But hidden in the back is a man reading a book, and that seems pretty normal. Many superpowered criminals will be there. Many of them can read, except for the fact that this is most likely Baron Zemo, mainly because the last time we saw him, he was reading a book at the raft. There are also other supervillains that we just haven't seen on screen yet, who have probably been sent away in between movies, and any other villains that survive their movies are probably sent there as well. Except maybe the Vulture. He's in Morbius's universe, and we don't talk about him.
But I think a bunch of guys like us should team up.
There's also another prisoner in the raft sitting behind Sam at this angle, but we can't really see who it is, but it's most likely another one of the supervillains who survived the end of their movie. This all seems well and good, but by putting the leader there, it means that at some point in the future, he will probably mind control his way out and break them all out whilst he's there, meaning this could set up a Hulk movie with a real version of the intelligentsia rather than this group of online incels that were in She-Hulk. And they could finally face off against the Hulk, and we can see a Hulk versus Red Hulk fight, and also a Hulk versus Leader fight. Stearns in this scene also mentions that he's seen a possibility of all the worlds, hinting at the multiverse. It obviously is a reference to Doom, since Doomsday is coming out next year, and you wouldn't be wrong in thinking so. But I actually have proof that he's referring to Kang, since throughout the movie Stearns is referred to as the buyer, rather than the leader. And the buyer is a common term that they use in movies when there's a mysterious person pulling the strings at the back. In the post-credit scene of the Falcon Winter Soldier finale, we see that the power broker aka Sharon Carter is selling tech to some mysterious buyers, and one of these buyers could be the leader. We also see in She-Hulk that a member of the intelligentsia is working in a lab. Now obviously anytime there's a mysterious buyer or someone in a lab, that doesn't mean it's Samuel Stearns, but there is a high possibility that they could link it all together. And in Ant-Man and the Wasp, we see that Sonny Birch also wants to steal Hank Pym's quantum research for a mystery buyer, and since the buyer in that movie is never revealed, one can assume that it's the leader or Samuel Stearns, since we do know that he was around and active in between the two movies that he's been in, just in prison, and perhaps he ran calculations for the multiverse years in advance and believed that the quantum realm was the answer. So he probably knew that there was likely a Kang variant just chilling in the quantum realm, waiting to be defeated by an army of ants. So what if the calculations led him to realize humanity's nature is to fight for survival, and once multiversal contact was learned about, it's only natural that a conflict will unfold. There is a chance he is talking about Doom, but there's one big issue, and it's that no one seems to know that Doom exists, which you can't blame them since we didn't know he existed until August last year. So when he attacks in Doomsday, it will be a surprise to all. Doctor Strange also did a similar thing in Infinity War by seeing all the possible outcomes of the fight against Thanos, so it is possible that Sam might recruit the help of the leader in Doomsday and Secret Wars in a similar role, and since he can do the calculations within seconds, it might be even more beneficial, provided he doesn't betray them, and it could explain why he was introduced back into the MCU after so long. But do let me know what you guys think this ending means in the comment section below, and subscribe whilst you're there.